Hello everyone, welcome back to the 3-hour news show. So this is actually the thing that we've been waiting for since the beginning of the show because
Not me.
Yeah.
Yes, in my part, I'm actually happy to see them got scared. So every country and region has its own myths and folklore. In some countries, myths are even considered as part of their intangible cultural heritage. Let's take a look at some famous myths around the world.
The Mexican Day of the Dead two-night revival feast, or Dia de Muertos, is held every 1st to the 2nd of November. At that event, Mexicans decorate their homes, streets, and the graves of their relatives with colorful flowers, candles, and skull decorations. The tradition is a tribute to their relatives who have died, where for 2 days they believe that the spirits of their loved ones can return to communicate with their families. In 2002, Day of the Dead was included in the list of UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage. This tradition was also featured in animated film Coco and the James Bond film series.
Welcome to the land of your ancestors.
Bloody Mary is one of the most famous urban legends in Europe. The Bloody Mary is believed to be the most terrifying ghost in the world. Many believe that Bloody Mary will appear if you turn off the lights at midnight, face the mirror, and call Bloody Mary 3 times. Some say that Mary is a famous witch, but others say that Mary was a regular girl who was killed by her lover. But the most controversial theories say that Mary was a queen of England called Mary Tudor or Mary I. Many people in Indonesia also believe in mysticism. One of them was Satu Suro. Satu means the first, and Suro is a month in the Javanese calendar. Many believe that Satu Suro is a sacred day, especially if it falls on Friday. Many of the Javanese community believe that on the night of Satu Suro, devils, ghosts, and mythical creatures will appear in the human realm.
All right, so we saw it all. Do you guys like horror movies?
I do.
No,
No.
Love it so much.
I'm with Maria. No.
I don't.
Why?
Never a fan of it.
I don't know. Somehow it got me really psyched and also, to understand the process behind it and also the making of the stories itself,
You're-
the scripts.
Adrenaline junkie.
I am. I have to say that, yes.
But for Indonesians, it's pretty, proximity is there because, a lot of people could actually see them or
Yep.
feel them. And it's sort of like a real thing. So
Yep.
when it is put in a movie, they feel like, yeah, this might happen. That's why I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Because I am afraid that somebody would appear behind my window or in my bathroom or, things like that.
Even like we experience it in real life, right? Like if our friend, like if he hit, hurt someone and then that someone hurt him back in, like invisible way.
Yeah,
if you know
in
what
an
I mean?
invisible
Yeah.
way. In a magical way.
yeah.
In a magical,
Yesterday it
shamanish
happened
way.
here in our office.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Yeah. This is another thing. Okay, so I've been wondering why people love and enjoy horror movies. As we know, horror movie provides an imaginative context in which people can play with fear. Why, though? Now, let's delve more into it with Widya as Sari for more insights through psychological standpoint. Hi, Widya. Thank you for being here in the 3-hour news show. So, we want to talk about...
join you again in City
Yeah, thank you. So this time, let's talk about something horror. Why do people think, why do you think that people, when they watch horror movie, they really enjoy it because there's such of adrenaline rush that makes the fans thrilled, but after watching the movie, they can't go to the bathroom alone. They need to have somebody assisting them. Why do they like it so much?
Well, there's a lot of studies and reviews on why people enjoy horror stories. Well, it's not only stories, but the experience itself. There is increased pleasure from frightening entertainment and the excitement of feeding our curiosity and imagination. the emotional roller coaster is also the thing that people might expect from watching or experiencing such stories. That's why horror stories won't fail to catch people's attention.
Well, like for me myself, I have the understanding, I have the notion of you only scare of the things that you don't know about. So that's why I want to know what actually a horror movie could offer, so that I won't be afraid of anything anymore. So is that also the psychological reason behind enjoying horror movies, or probably there are some other reasons?
Yes, that's the curiosity I mentioned before, because we humans tend to find out about anything, right? Something we never experienced or something we cannot experience in real life. So where there is an entertainment offers such experience, why not?
Okay, Widya. After we watch a horror movie, typically we will be, reminded by graphic scenes and, the ghosts and everything, the situations. It can remain in our mind for some days.
Yes.
So can a horror movie actually affect you psychologically?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
affect us, sorry.
The side effect is not only physical, but it's physically we will feel like tense in our body, but in mind also. Psychologically, it affects us, such as raising the level of anxiety. But for the entertainment reason, sometimes we find that exciting, right? So for the side effect, it can affect us. It can affect us physical and psychologically, of course. But whether it's positive or negative, it depends on what is the reason and what is the background of the people themselves.
Yeah, is there any specific age that you suggest not to watch these kinds of movies, like horror movies? Because some of the horror movies that are on right now in the cinemas are 13 and above. So my daughter, who is 14, said to me yesterday, well, I want to watch it with my friends. I said, be careful, because you might not be scared during watching the movie in the cinema, but after.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's why I hate it.
So is there any specific age that you suggest of, okay, you can start watching from this certain age?
Well, yeah, for in general, horror movie can contain gory scene, or those dramatic scene which suitable for adult age. So as long as the content suitable for the teenager or adolescent age, it would be no matter. But most of horror movie contain those scenes. So I suggest the horror movie only for adult and stable condition mentally.
So, Widya, but in that sense, is it safe to say that a horror movie could affect psychologically only because of the gory scenes, not actually about the beliefs and the myths behind it? Is it safe to say like that?
Oh, okay. This is nice, because we can learn about our history. We have common pattern of values that has become our culture and also applied to our daily practices, which can get internalized in each of our culture. So belief behind the horror content or supernatural things is strongly related to culture, tradition, and belief. And if we view as in psychological science, in a culture when many believe certain behavior might be caused by supernatural reason, mental health issue might be considered as those supernatural experience. For example, a person with schizophrenia or delusion disorder might believe he or she hears something, the voice of ghost or angel, or even they believe that they are the ghost themselves, right?
Ah.
In science view, we can see it as a psychological phenomenon that might include delusion and hallucination and cultural induced behavior. But since we live in religious society, we cannot deny that the religious and cultural view also influence the belief of the society. So whether the horror movie can affect people and people believe, I think this is only one of the phenomena, because behind us we have cultural and religious matter as our background.
I see now. That makes more sense to me.
What about people that was, how do you say it, hijacked, the body got hijacked by the ghost or other things?
Possessed.
Like a kesurupan.
Being possessed, in
Yeah.
the state of being possessed.
We call it kesurupan here in Indonesia.
Yeah.
What does that people
Yeah.
actually facing?
Feel,
Yeah.
Or is there any psychological science behind that?
Yes, as I mentioned before, each culture has its own value set. So those values fit in the behavior and belief, including about kesurupan or possession. Yeah. In psychiatry or psychology, we recognize something that's called psychotic disorder. But since we live in the society with strong cultural background, strong religious background, we cannot really separate the views between scientific and cultural. So scientifically, we cannot say someone has possession, but religiously and culturally, we can put that label, but also we cannot deny the psychological phenomenon behind. So if someone put their belief too strong in this supernatural phenomenon, such as kesurupan or something like that, it also can mean that that person were in unstable, or we can say vulnerable mental state.
Okay,
So
vulnerable
be careful.
mental state.
So is it a
Yes.
disorder, or can you categorize that as disorder or like illness or no?
Well, we need to do more deeper assessment, of course, because there's a lot of factors affecting someone's behavior. But we can say there's a psychological vulnerability in people who have those kind of behavioral characteristics or tendency to have that kesurupan thing or possession state. Yeah.
Okay.
Widya, talking about being possessed, we know that it's not only affected by, the spirit enters you, but in Indonesia, we believe that if people hate each other, then there's a possibility that the other person, a person sends a demonic
that.
spirit to other person.
Okay.
Now, what is your psychological standpoint on this?
goodness.
Okay. There's a lot of things to consider, because we have to see their social background also, because belief doesn't really rely on age or social status, education, and etc. But those factors can affect someone's belief. That's why we cannot see only from psychological perspective, but also social and cultural. So if I was asked, is this person really possessed, or she just, or he or she just being dramatic, or does he or she have that kind of disorder? We need to see the social or the community around him or around her, because we need to see what value she has, what kind of belief she has. So we cannot only judge in one perspective only.
Okay, Widya, on that sense, from the psychological standpoint, as a psychologist, would you suggest a person to watch horror movie or not, considering all the benefits and all the benefits of it?
As a choice of entertainment, everyone can can choose what kind of entertainment they want to see. Yeah? But before you pick some type of entertainment, you need to prepare yourself. So if you think that you're anxious, you're easily influenced by external phenomena or external we call it like incident or scene. So you might consider and rethink about picking
right.
horror
So it
movie
depends.
as
It
your
depends
source
whether
of
you're ready or not.
entertainment. Yes, it depends when you're ready or not.
So you have to be ready psychologically and also emotionally available.
That's right.
I'm not
Yeah.
available for horror.
I'm not available. I mean, I've heard about as Maria mentioned, if you are having an enemy or something,
Yes.
you
Yes.
can actually use the power of the spirit to
Magic.
send some, like
Yeah.
magic, send some diseases or some troubles to the person that you hate. Why?
Even the demonic spirit itself.
yes.
To live inside that person.
How is this?
Yeah.
How is this happening?
Is there anything psychological science
Yes.
related to this? Because
Specifically to the victims.
yes, specifically to the victims, because when we see deeper into this kind of case, apparently it is actually influenced into the mind of the family and also the victim itself.
Well, what we believe, what we think, of course, it influence our behavior. So sometimes we see something and match with our experience, and sometimes we put ourselves into suggestion, and we believe the certain phenomena as something 100% real because we match the experience with what we believe. So we often heard about sunset site.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is
that's
right.
right.
That's what we are actually referring to.
Talking about it. Yeah. So when someone strongly believes that what we think is 100% real, the whole thing around will be perceived as something that is related with that considerably real thing. That's why there's a phenomenon called Barnum effect, when we really believe something general, but we believe something general, but we make it really specific because of the similar situation or the certain experience we have before.
All right,
Nice.
it's very interesting. As Paulo Coelho said, if you want something to happen, tell the universe. So if you don't want it to happen, don't tell
Don't
it.
tell the universe.
No, stop telling.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much,
you.
Widya, for your time and
You're
insight.
welcome. Thank you.
Very informative for us.
Stay safe and do not watch horror movie if you're not ready.
Thanks for the
Yes.
advice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
It gives a strong
Bye.
base
Thank
for
you.
us not to even step
Yes.
into the cinema or watch at home or anything
never
that is related
Well,
to
I'll
horror.
accompany you though. in
Yeah,
that
no.
sense.
Thank you for being such a nice friend.
Accompany us watching romantic movies.
Okay,
So funny.
I'll sleep on that.
Okay, we have learned about myths and folklore from many cultures. However, we must not overlook the fact that in Indonesia, we also have myths and folklore which work nicely in films.
That's right. For example, horror films in Indonesia have a large followers. Millions of people have even enjoyed watching them, and some even made it to the box office list.
Love it.
Sering dengar suara Bima desah.
In Indonesia, the film, which was released this April, became the most watched movie of all time after being seen by 9.2 million viewers in the theaters. The story itself is based on a true story that was viral on Twitter concerning an experience of several university students as they conduct community service in an undisclosed village.
The first installment, Pengabdi Setan or Satan's Slave in 2017, drew 4.2 million viewers. The story is about a dark secret of a family and a deal with the devil which leads to horrible consequences. The sequel also did well at the box office, Pengabdi Setan 2 Communion currently has 4 million viewers. And this number will continue to grow as the film is still in the cinemas.
Yes, this movie, which was directed by Jos Purnomo and Rizal Mantovani, was seen by 2.5 million people in 2017. The movie tells the story of three girls who want to uncover the mystery of their father, who is in a mysterious coma. So, are you also a fan of them?
Nope.
No.
Sorry. Oh my goodness.
How can you not like a horror movie?
Well, I
Because, yeah.
personally think that it's a supernatural world.
Yeah.
Like it's next to us, but I don't want to touch it, so that I don't want to mess with them. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they don't want to mess with me either. So that is my standpoint. But as Hans said, he is so curious, right?
And also, if you feel like with that understanding you don't want any supernatural, Doctor Strange, the multiverse, also considered to be
For me
supernatural.
personally, I don't want it to mess with my mind.
All right.
All right.